Welcome to this tutorial about solving linear equations. By the end of it, you will be able to solve the question 5x minus 4 equals 14, add 2x. The key thing with solving linear equations is to try and get the letters on one side and the numbers on the other side. To do that, you have to do the same to each side, that's the balancing step, and then to move something from one side to the other, you have to do the inverse. So we want to gather the x's, in this case, on one side. So we look at the side that has the most number of x's at the moment, and that's the 5x minus 4 side. So that shows that we want to move the plus 2x from the right hand side and move that to the left hand side. How do we move the plus 2x? Well, that's where the inverse comes in. So to move the plus 2x, we do the inverse minus 2x. But we have to remember the balancing step, so we minus 2x from both sides. Now if we have on the right hand side 14 add 2x minus 2x, then the 2x disappears because it's cancelled out. Add 2 minus 2, you have nothing. So we're just left with 14. On the left hand side, we have 5x minus 2x, and that leaves us with 3x. Then we need to move the minus 4 next to the 3x to get that onto the other side, and then we can solve the last bit of the equation. How do we move the minus 4? Well, we do the inverse, so we add 4 to both sides. If we add 4 to minus 4, then it cancels out to nothing, leaving us with 3x. And if we add 4 to the side with 14 on, that leaves us with 18. So we end up with 3x equals 18. To finish off this question, we need to find out what 1x is. We know 3x equals 18. Now the 3 in front of the x is multiplied by 3. So the inverse of multiply by 3 is divide by 3. So if we divide both sides by 3, then we end up with 1x equals 6. And that's the answer to our question. Once we've got our answer, x equals 6, then we can check by putting it back into the equation to see if it's right. So, the left hand side, 5x minus 4, 5 times 6 is 30, 30 take away 4 is 26. On the right hand side, 14 add 2x, 2 lots of 6 is 12, 14 add 12 is 26. So our equation balances, x equals 6 is the right answer. If you are feeling confident with those steps, then there are 3 questions for you to have a go at. Remember, for each question, you're trying to move the x's onto one side and the numbers onto the other. And the 2 hints, balance, so do whatever you do to one side, do to the other side, and then to move something, you do the inverse. Pause the video whilst you have a go at the questions, and then unpause it to have a look at the solutions and the answers. How did we get on? The answer to the first question, 6x minus 5 equals 3 add 4x, the answer is x equals 4. But how did we get there? First of all, we looked at which side we should gather the x's on. Because 6x is bigger than 4x, we want to gather the x's on the left hand side. That means we have to move the plus 4x. To move plus 4x, you do the inverse. So we take away 4x from both sides. That leaves us 6x take away 4x is 2x. And on the right hand side, 4x minus 4x, we've moved it successfully, just leaving the number 3. The next thing we have to deal with is the minus 5 in front of the 2x. To move the minus 5, you do the inverse, which is plus 5. That leaves us with 2x by itself, and then 3 add 5 equals 8 on the right hand side. From that step, if 2x equals 8, we divide both sides by 2 to give us x equals 4, which is the right answer. And if we checked by putting x equals 4 back into the equation, we'd end up with 6 times 4 is 24, 24 minus 5 is 19, and on the right hand side, 3 add 4 lots of 4, 4 4s are 16, 16 add 3 is 19, so we have the right answer. The next question, 4x add 11 equals 26 minus x. The solution was x equals 3. But how did we get there? Again, look at the x's and decide which has the most positive x's on. That's the left hand side, 4x add 11. That means we need to move the minus x from the right hand side. To move minus x, you do the inverse, which is plus x. That leaves us with 4x plus x, which is 5x. So we have 5x add 11 equals 26. We now have to move the plus 11. To move plus 11, you do the inverse minus 11. That gives us 5x on the left side, 26 minus 11 equals 15 on the other side. From 5x equals 15, we divide both sides by 5, giving us x equals 3. And if we check our answer, x equals 3 in the original equation, 4x, 4 times 3 is 12, 12 add 11 is 23, and the right hand side, 26 minus 3 is 23. So that's a good way of checking whether you've got the right answer. How did we get on with the final question? The solution to 2x add 10 equals 5x minus 5. The solution is x equals 5. How did we get there? Well, the first step is we want to gather the x's on the same side. But this time, the most x's, the most positive x's, are on the right hand side. So we actually move the 2x from the left hand side. If there is no symbol in front of 2x, that means it's positive. So the inverse of plus 2x is minus 2x. So we take away 2x from both sides. That leaves us with 10 on the left hand side, and that leaves us with 3x minus 5 on the right hand side. To move the minus 5, the inverse is plus 5. So that gives us 10 plus 5 on the left, and then 3x by itself on the right. 15 equals 3x is exactly the same if it was written 3x equals 15. And we just divide both sides by 3 to find out what 1x is. That gives us an answer of x equals 5, and we can check it. 2 times 5 is 10, 10 add 10 equals 20 on the left, 5 5s are 25, 25 take away 5 is 20, so we know our answer works. I hope this video has been useful in understanding the steps to solve linear equations. You need to remember to move the letters onto one side, numbers onto the other, and to move things from one side to the next, you do the inverse. Thank you for watching. If it's been useful, please like and subscribe to the channel for more maths and grammar videos.